Okay, so today we're gonna tackle this beast, the whole Oban Canard duck. They usually average about 8.5 pounds or so. This guy is a big one. This one's about 10 pounds. So when you get the whole duck from Oban Canard, it comes with pretty much everything except the liver, which of course is the foie gras. But you get everything else. You get the feet. And these feet are great. Save them, freeze them for the next time you're going to make a chicken stock or anything like that. They add great collagen, gelatin to the stock. Really add nice body to it. Or you can add it to a duck stock, which we're going to make later. We have the neck, the gizzard, and heart, which we're going to the gizzard we're going to confit when we make our duck confit, and we've got some nice fat here that comes with it too. That was part of this duck. So then that's it for that. And we've got this big bird here. And we're gonna start just by trimming some fat off the edges. And getting rid of all of that. And then we're gonna cut, if you've ever broken down a chicken, pretty much the same way. We're gonna take the legs off, and the whole time trimming some of this fat, saving all of that because we're gonna render it. Cutting the thigh off the carcass, popping the leg bone out, making sure we get whatever oyster is there. It's not as big as on a chicken, but and there you go. We have our first leg off. We can go ahead later on and trim up a lot of this fat. And we'll be adding that to our rendering pan. For now, we just lay it to the side. So we'll do the same thing over on the other side here. The duck over, cutting along the carcass until we can pop the leg out. And we can just pop the joint just like that. And there's our second leg. Again, we'll trim up that fat later and add it to our rendering pan. So now we've got the two breasts, the magret, and the wings that are still here. We'll leave those wings for later. I like to start by cutting down the middle and kind of finding where I am like that. And then, again, just following the carcass. So on a nice, sharp, thin-bladed knife. We're going to hit the wishbone here. Just cut along the side there, try not to cut into any of the meat. We have our first breast. And again, we'll trim all this up later, get that silver skin off, add that fat to our rendering pan. Go on the other side of the breastbone now. Cut down. You can feel the meat pulling away from the carcass. Finally, we'll just trim this off right around the wing bone. And there's our second breast. Trim that up. And so now we have this carcass. What we're going to do now is we're going to remove all of this fat. Everything we can get off of the carcass, we're going to take off, because all of that can be rendered into beautiful duck fat for cooking, for making our confit, everything we have. So the carcass, a couple of glands here at the back. We don't want to put that in our fat, so we can cut those out if you see that back bed tail here. The carcass, when we're done cleaning it up, is going to make a great stock. Make a beautiful duck stock with it. And from that duck stock, sometimes we use it to make our cassoulet. We have these wings here. I think I'm going to confit the wings. They'll be nice and tender that way. Otherwise, they're a little tough, but if we confit them, they should get nice and tender, and we can then grill them and make a nice sauce with them. Take off all this fat. But when we're done with the carcass, we'll make that stock, and we'll probably make a nice garbure, a duck confit soup with that. So there's our other wing. So there's our whole duck now. All the parts off. All that fat's going to go in our rendering pot. We'll use that for our confit. And that's it. We've gotten pretty much everything off of here. We've broken down our whole duck, and now we're ready to enjoy all the different parts, really in the best way that they show themselves. Cooking the breasts to a nice medium rare, cooking the legs confit, or roasting them until they're nice and tender. Same with the wings. So we hope you enjoy your Au Bon Canard duck.